Hey guys, nice to have you back for the next round of the San Andreas Touring Car Championship Season 2. Fourth race of the season. For me it's my second race because I missed the first two, but I told you that already in the first video of this playlist. So we are racing now Blaine County 24 Hours South, revisited by Dr. Cloden. He remade this track based on his Blaine County 24 Hours South track, and he really did a good job. You will see he added some curbs and some stuff, really nice. I'm starting in 11th position, and next to me is Errol. Pass him straight away. In front of me is Ender. Already see him, he is lagging just as he did on Cluck and Bell. And next to me now is Oh Darn. Important for me to pass him because he was at this moment the leader of the championship and I needed to pass him. And in the back you see Errol hit a sign and completely took out somebody, which was wow, kind of crazy. And here Andreas almost takes me out like he did on Cluck and Bell. Luckily the lag didn't allow him to. Now I'm right next to my teammate Sugar Free Nos and Kasumi, and already going into 4th position after the first turn, from 11th to 4th. That's like really good start on this track. And trying to make a move on Natalia and the Banshee, going into 3rd position, side by side right here. Kind of clipped that sign, and he does a good job staying next to me, defending that position. Now I'm on the inside, now he is on the inside, and here I just have to back off and let him go, stay in 4th, and try to make another move. And there, right behind me is my teammate Sugar Free Nos, who disconnected from the last race, so he's in 5th position right now, which is good for the team. Really need those points at the moment, so the Fister Comets don't leave us in the dirt. And here, Bad Loser kinda has a bit of trouble taking that turn. He's in the Surano. Natalia passes him, I go to a side and going into 3rd position and 4th, back and forth here at the moment. But then Natalia all of a sudden disappears. Lag spike, I don't know what happened there, but solved that problem. And now I'm on the inside for the next turn, so I can go into 2nd position here. Bad Loser kinda gets into the dirt, misses the turn a bit, and loses the position to Natalia and my teammate Sugar Free Nos. So Tinkle Motorswords right now in 2nd and 4th position, and I'm chasing Sabertooth, racing for the Invertero Coquette team. And here, 1 lap later, in lap 3, I managed to catch up to him. And here you already see he's lagging quite a bit because he's from Australia, and that connection gives us some troubles sometimes, as you have seen in the last race with Andreas and also in the start of this race. It's really disappointing having those issues, but we just have to deal with it. And here, coming up to the first turn, I get a better turn. I'm right at this bumper and trying to get the speed of the Carbonizaire onto the main, onto the 2nd long straight of this track. Yeah, this track mainly consists of those 2 long straights and then the kind of infield, which is interesting because those long straights really need to have a good exit on that 1 turn. And I managed to, but I can't quite pass him here, so I have to stay behind. I back off, then this happens. All of a sudden, like, his car starts to float around. I go into the rear, lose about a second here, so I have to catch up again. For him this probably hasn't even happened, so there's nothing I can do about it. And 1 more lap, it took me to catch up to him, half a second now, lap 5. Same situation, same turn. I try to prepare myself for the overtake here. Stay tight, get on the gas early, and I managed to. He's here I can close the gap already in the middle of the straight. But then I kinda make a little mistake. I go to the outside of the Sabertooth, and I really should have tried to get the inside. Because on the next turn it's too tough to stay on the outside, what we already have seen with Natalia on the first turn. But here I'm already past him, and then this happens, like, he just turns me around, I go into the wall, Natalia passes me. Natalia actually goes into first position, Sabertooth in second, and I'm in third now, with a 2-second gap. Don't know what happened there, definitely due to the lag, which is so disappointing. And I told him to just keep going, because he can't do anything about the lag instead of like retiring from the race, which would be kinda like too much to ask. So still in third, nothing lost, and in next lap, same turn, I'm following those two guys, and here like weird stuff is happening. I just clipped that barrier just a tiny bit, just so unlucky that I actually get caught on the guardrail on the other side, losing 2 more positions, going into 5th now. That was really disappointing. That was like, that error shouldn't happen here. Going into the back of Super Stepper, who hits the back of my teammate Sugar Free Nos. So here really close fighting at the moment. Sugar Free Nos and Super Stepper having a battle. And here you see Super Stepper spins out on the blue curbs, goes a bit into the rear, and then again another problem solved by my teammate, missing completely his braking point. Ah no, going from 4th or 3rd to actually now he's in 6th position. Kinda disappointing for Tinkle Motorsports, losing so many points in 2 laps. But now I'm on the chase for Sabertooth. He's 5 seconds ahead after all those incidents I had. And I'm in 2nd place. Behind me is actually at the moment nobody, because most of them did the pit stops already, which will come later into effect. At O'Darn, he did his pit stops very well timed. And here I come out of the pits at lap 10 with my first pit stop, and O'Darn right behind me, he already did 1 pit stop, so he's ahead of me. No, he did 2 pit stops, so I did 1, he did 2, so he's ahead of me at this moment, which pressures me a lot, because I now have to push hard to keep him behind, actually increase the gap to him, close the gap to Sabertooth, and then still do my pit stop and try to stay ahead of him. And here you see what happens when you try to push. Completely miss that turn, go into the guardrail, allow him to pass me, and yeah, he goes into 2nd position. I'm chasing him now down the straight, and we have 4.3 seconds gap to Sabertooth. You can see him down there, he's just exiting the highway now. And so that gap is not too big, we can catch up to him. But first I have to deal with O'Darn, which was really fun, racing the Comet here. And you see he's taking a different line. Going around here, the Comet, a bit better on acceleration. Those 2 cars, the Carbonizer and the Comet, really even on top speed. But the Comet just has that tiny bit more of acceleration. But also a lot more oversteer. The Carbonizer doesn't have that much oversteer, so it's even out. Pretty fun to race against each other. You see, I tried to get a good run down the straight. Lap 11, going into lap 12, and I still need to do 1 pit stop. And Sabertooth, he needs to do 1 more pit stop too. So actually at the moment, O'Darn, he is having a pretty good chance to actually win the race, because he's 1 pit stop up against us. And here I make a pretty desperate move onto the inside. Just take that inside and go for it, and it actually worked. Taking the position from O'Darn. And now on lap 12, I make a mistake, missing this braking point. Not as bad as my teammate did, but still, that's very important for what happens now. because we are going into lap 13 and I still need to do my pit stop. Oh darn, he's right behind me, and Sabertooth, he's 2 seconds behind. So at the moment I still have the chance to stay ahead of Sabertooth if I do 2 fast laps. But now, due to the mistake in the last turn, O'Darn is on my inside and I cannot go into the pits. So I decide to go one more run around, like one more lap around. Which in the end probably was not the best decision. But it's just how it is. So we will see how it works out. So lap 13. End of lap 13 now, as you've seen. I passed had a nice little battle there with O'Darn. And again, same turn, I do another mistake. This time not missing the braking point, but going too much onto the apex barriers, hitting those, allowing O'Darn to pass me. And going into lap 14, you see, I don't know how that's possible, but I just catch up to him. I did the mistake there at the last turn and still catch up to him. That's so weird. Like, it was always back and forth. When I was behind him, he caught up to me. When I was behind him, I caught up to him. So it was weird. So I decide on lap 14, I do my second pit stop. Here I really had to push to don't lose time, and yeah, that was the most stupidest thing I did in this race. Just completely hit that guardrail, go into the barriers, lose like 2 or 3 seconds. Now my chances for second place are completely gone. Actually going to 5th position behind Natalia, and there's already Mr. Rios, he's 2nd in the championship at the moment. So my chances from winning or going 2nd to actually going 5th or 6th are like pretty high at the moment, but I somehow managed to stay in front of Natalia. So in 4th place at the moment. And I know that in front of me is Dr. Cloden. He still has to pit one more time, and he's not 4 seconds ahead of me, so I can pass Dr. Cloden for another position. And that's actually what happened. Cloden took the pit stop in the next lap, in lap 15, and I passed him going into 3rd. But there was no more chance for me to catch up to Sabertooth or O'Darn, and that's where I finished the race. So that's the end of the video here. We have the final result. It's O'Darn, good job, then Sabertooth in 2nd place for the Coquette, myself in 3rd, Mr. Rios in 4th, actually passing Dr. Cloden 2, and Superstep in 6th. So hope you enjoyed it. Turn in for the next video, and bye bye.